Welcome to The Sarah Scoop Show. I'm your host, Sarah Roman, here to give you the scoop on all of your favorite things. Today we have Raven Walton from Big Brother Season 19 here with us. Thanks so much, Raven, for being here.
Yay, thank you for having me. I'm super excited to be here. I'm excited.
So right now is a prime time because we've seen all these casting calls with Big Brother, and you are the perfect person to give advice for those hopefuls. I was reading you were a super fan, correct?
I was a super fan.
Because a lot of people are saying like they pick people, but you actually applied. So maybe you can give us some insight on that process.
Of course. So I'm a Big Brother super fan. I've always been. I've watched it since I've been like old enough to watch it, 11, 12. And so I remember when I tried out, I was thinking, like, they're just not going to pick me. And so none of the audition cities were like super close to where I live at because, well, I live in Arkansas in the middle of nowhere. So I was like, what do I need to do? So I just sent in a video at my dance studio, just me, literally just talking about why I wanted to be on Big Brother, why I thought I should be on Big Brother. I didn't try to be like anyone else from previous seasons. I was just me. Like, this is what I bring to the table. Like it or not, pick me or not, this is what I got. And I literally, they called me and I was like, next thing I know, I was on Big Brother. I was like, how did this happen?
That's awesome. So you were talking about your dance studio. So are you still doing that?
I am. I still in my dance studio. I actually have hired another teacher because I've got a lot of students. So I've been really busy with that, and it's crazy because Monday through like Friday I'm Miss Raven, and then I travel a lot on the weekends now, and so it's so crazy. Like I go from like Miss Raven dance teacher to like Raven Big Brother, like whoop, back and forth, back and forth.
So when you got selected, from talking to other contestants on the show, you don't have a lot of time, but being a super fan, did you already have a plan in place when you went into the house of how you were going to play the game?
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to play low because I know that a lot of people get in the house and they make themselves targets like right off the bat, but like saying like, you're my target or like doing crazy stuff like that. And so I was thinking, okay, I'm just going to go in this house and try to lay low and not catch anyone's eye as a target. So that way I can maybe make it to jury. Like, I don't know, because you never know like who's going to be in the house with you. Like, before I even knew Paul was going to be in the house, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's going to be like half vets, like all vets, a couple returning. Like, you never know. And so I was really nervous going into the house. Like, I hope people like me. Like, I hope they don't get voted off first.
I feel like you were from watching this season, like you were just so fun and like you didn't have a lot of conflict, or did you, that we didn't see?
I mean, I had a couple conflicts, like, of course,
yeah.
like Jason, conflict with him. Like, for the most part, yeah, I was pretty low. I mean, I think I had like maybe like 3 fights I can count on my hand. Like, that was kind of my goal. Like, I don't want to go in the house and like cause fights, do all this crazy stuff. I go in there and be me. And so it's so funny as people are like, are you always that happy? Like, that's gotta be fake. Like, I don't understand. Like, no, that's me. Like, ask my friends, ask my family, ask Matthew. Okay, he's got a good dose of it. Like, I am just a bubbly, lively person who always finds a joy in situations.
Which, speaking of Matthew, I'm sure that a lot of people want to know, what's the status? How's the showmance?
Well, the showmance has turned out into a real life romance. I mean, it's kind of crazy. I never thought I would go on Big Brother and find someone I would fall in love with, which is just kind of bizarre when you say it out loud. Like, you went on a reality TV show and you found that you love. Like, what happened? And so, yeah, we're still together. I'm traveling back and forth because right now it's easier for me because I own a business, and so it's easier for me to travel versus him. But he's coming to Arkansas this month, so I'm really excited for that. But yeah, we're going strong, and it's so funny when people like see us out. They're like, "Oh my God, you guys are still together!" I'm like, "Yes, we are," because people don't even call us about like Matt and Raven when we're out. It's Raven. I'm like, "Oh my God."
How has that been? Yeah, how has that been? Like having, going from your life in Arkansas, which you still have, but like then going and getting recognized, or I'm not like social media wise. Like, how has that been?
It's been unreal. Like, you go in the house and you're this normal person. I mean, I'm still normal, but you go in this house, and when you come out, it's like culture shock. It's like a dog being released into the wild the first time again. You're like, oh my God, like there's people I can have my phone. Why? I have 104,000 followers on Instagram. Like people care when I breathe, when I eat, what I do. I'm like, this is insane. Like, I mean, I knew Big Brother fans like me are crazy, but I'm like, this is insane. Like when you live it, it's different. I always say that. Like it's so easy when you watch the show, like, oh, I'll do this and I'll do that, and but you're watching it, like you get to see people's interviews, you get to see what their plans are. So of course you're gonna be like, well, I would do this. But when you're in the house, you have no idea what they're saying. You don't see their interviews.
Do you feel like you would play the game differently if you went back in the house?
100%. Like if I went back in the house, I even told my friends and my parents, my mom, everyone, don't watch me because I'm going to be a complete savage. I might be voted off first if I got back in the house because I played the game way too nice the first time. And so I went back in the house, I would just be, you know what? You're all gone.
Is it because when you're in the house, it's harder to separate like feelings from the game? Because I know everyone is playing a game, but then once you get in the house, like I can only imagine that it's more emotional than you would think watching it.
Oh my gosh, it's so surreal because when I remember I was standing on stage with Julie Chen and she's like, let's take a selfie before you guys enter the house. I was thinking, this is really happening. Like I'm about to enter this house. And when I step through the doors, like it just all hits you. Like you want to cry, you want to scream, you want to laugh, but you have all these people you've never met in front of you. And I remember the first time, actually when I walked in the house, the first person I saw was Christmas. She's like, "Hi, I'm Christmas," and I was like, "I'm in love." Like it was just so cool because it's kind of bizarre how fast you get connected with people, even with just like a week. Like Ramsey was in the house as long as other people, but I love him just as much as I love everyone else. So yeah. It's kind of crazy how close you become in that house.
How did you guys pass the time, like when you're waiting for the next challenge to happen?
Oh my gosh, some crazy stuff, girl. I mean, we have nothing. We don't have even Jenga. We have no poker cards. And so you really have to use your imagination. Once the socializing is kind of over, like, you know where I work at, you know what I do, like, what else do you have to talk about? And so, like, I remember I played hide and go seek with Matthew one time. Paul, Elena, Ramsey, and I, we were playing the ninja game. Like, every time you move, you had to chop somebody. I mean, you get really creative in that house. And, like, I remember I taught Ramsey some dance moves. I mean, it just got crazy in that house because you're like, you want to do this? Do you want to juggle apples? You think we'll get in trouble? Oh no, let's just try. You know, it's like a kid. Like you revert back to that. Like I just want to play with something, like anything.
Right. How soon into the house did you and Matthew start become a couple? I guess.
I know, it's kind of crazy. What was so funny is we were really close when we first met. We just kind of like knew we were gonna be like instant friends. We just kind of had chemistry already going. And so I remember it was like the first 5 days, like we washed dishes together, like we messed with each other. I mean, Matthew and I like to prank each other and like mess with each other all the time. That's part of our relationship. And it was so funny because like I always tease him now because like it took you 17 days to kiss me. And he's like, no, it didn't. I'm like, yes, it did. And so, but I was like, but we got close. We got to know each other before like we became like a showmans per se. So we were like friends. And then I would say like day 20, it was like, okay, I really like you. You really like me.
Yeah. A lot of people are always asking who you still stay in contact with from your season, or if there's other Big Brother people that you become close with after the house. So is there anyone that you're still really good friends with?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I pretty much talked to not everyone on my season, but pretty much the whole season. I mean, I love Paul, Josh, group messages with them are hilarious. Oh my gosh, I'll cry. Christmas, always keep in touch with Christmas. Jillian's so fun. I wish you would have voted her out, but I'm like, dang, if I only would have known how much fun she was. Ramsey, I mean, I try to stay Dominique. I mean, Cindy from Big Brother Canada. Like, it's neat when you have the house, like, who you connect with and, like, who tweets you. You're like, oh, that's weird. I remember watching your season, so.
What was your favorite challenge that you participated in? And also, was there any that were just like extremely difficult? Because we see like bits and pieces, or like you said before, you watch it and you're like, oh, I could do that. But is there any that? So those two things.
Okay, so there was a lot of competitions that I absolutely loved this past year, but one of my favorites was one of the first ones we did. It was the second competition, and it was Candy Crush. I remember I walked in the backyard. I was like, you turned this place into like a candy wonderland. This is my girl's dream right here. And so they started like throwing candy at us. I was like, I'm on Big Brother. I'm on Big Brother right now. We're getting candy thrown at us and we're smashing them. It was so much fun. That was one of the funnest comps I think that I remember like just doing and like really realizing that you're on Big Brother right now. And another one that I realized that I was really on Big Brother was the wall competition. I think that's like a Big Brother, just famous competition. Like, that's gonna be a big part of Big Brother. You're gonna be hanging on something at some point in the competition. And so I remember when I walked in the backyard and I saw the wall, I was really excited because as a super fan, I knew exactly what this competition was. But I will never forget that first lean girl. It gets you by the boob. Let me tell you something. You're like, I remember I looked over at Alex, was like, you want to jump off together? I was like, I don't know. I'll give it a try a couple more minutes. And it's because it's so hard. Like that first tilt really like grabs you. The gravity and everything is just pulling you down. And my little noodle arms were screaming. I'm like, please pull it back up. Please pull it back up. And they're throwing things at you. It's not easy. It is not easy at all.
If you were going to give advice to people, would you say it's better to prepare yourself like socially and like plan on making friends, or do you think it's better to prepare yourself physically for the competitions?
Honestly, both. I feel like it's really good, necessary to have both, because if you don't have a social game, you're not going to make it very far in the game if you don't have someone you can rely on giving you information on what's going on in the house. If you're not very physical, I mean, there's a lot of competitions that are luck, like the true or false ones, but when it comes down to competition, yeah, I would say definitely work out your arms and your glutes and fluids, people. Get prepared because you will be super sore. Like the Zing oil, the heel. Oh my god! Like I remember Matthew and I got in a bathtub. He never takes a bath because one, he's like, I'm a man, I'm not getting in the bathtub. But we literally got in the bathtub in the HOH and we couldn't move. Like we were just sitting there, like bless you guys' heart. Like I'm in shock. So definitely prepare yourself for both.
Was the house as you expected? Like when you walked in, I know earlier you mentioned like you saw Christmas there, but like from watching the show, was it what you expected, or were there any differences?
It was exactly what I expected. Like when I walked in, you saw the big tree when you first walked in. I was like, oh my gosh. Like I immediately got it because like the temptation thing. I was like, what is going on? This is insane. And I remember when I ran back and I went into like all the bedrooms and like people were like throwing their bags on beds and stuff. I was like, oh my gosh, this is like really happening. So I remember I didn't even know what bed I had at the point. I just threw my bag and like I ran back out to like look at the kitchen, look upstairs. I mean, because like that's like the biggest part. Because I remember before, like when I watched the season, I would get really excited to when Julie Chen would like reveal the house. Like, oh, what's gonna be the house this year? So that was like in person, it was bizarre. I mean, nothing can prepare you for it. I mean, it's insane.
Yeah, that's so cool though that you went from watching the show to being on the show. Do you think being a super fan gives you an advantage?
I think so. It does give you an advantage in the fact that you know what games, kind to expect. If you watch the previous seasons, you know that people lie. I mean, you have to do your best and try to judge it. Like, okay, who's lying, who's not lying to me? But that's part of the game. And so you kind of figure out what other people's strategies are. Like, okay, this person's strategy is not to do well in competitions. Through the first part, not to win, not to get that blood in their hands. So there's so many strategies that you can look at and pick one for yourself and hope it works out.
How did you deal with people lying in the house when you watched it? Did you watch it back?
I haven't watched the whole season, but I have watched episodes, and I was like, oh my gosh, I knew that was happening. One thing that did shock me was when I got out of the house and I watched when Christmas was in the hospital and she voted to keep Cody. I was like, oh my God, Dominique, I blame for that one. It's just kind of like those little things that you weren't sure about that were in the house. I mean, you had an inkling like maybe that she did it or she did it, but you really don't know. You're just surmising at this point. And so when you go to the house and you find out all this information, you're like, well, dang, I had the wool over my eyes the whole time. Like, I thought I knew what was going on.
And so once you got out of the house, and you were voted out, and then you went to the jury house, what is it like when you're in the jury house?
Jury house is honestly just a time for you to relax. I mean, because in the house it's so stressful. I mean, it's hard to explain unless you've been in a house because you won't know what I'm saying. Like when you walk out the doors, it's like something leaves your body. It's just almost like a relief and release, I would say, because at this point you don't have your backup for everything. Oh my God, you're not taking everything so personally. And then when you get out of the house, you're like, I'm not playing this game anymore. I'm real life me. Like, I don't have to worry about being a chess piece in this game and worry about who's playing me or who I'm trying to play. At this point, I'm just normal. Like, I get to vote who wins Big Brother. Cool. I'm so excited for that. And so I was just really excited to, when I got to Jury House, to spend time, more personal time with Matthew, get to know him on a, more personal level, and then just kind of see who came and, decide who's going to win Big Brother. So it's really relaxing and, like, just nice to now have cameras on you 24/7, like, looking, oh my God, where's my mic? I did that for, like, the first 5 days, I swear.
Was that, like, what was the most challenging part about the whole process? Was that it? Just being filmed all the time, or?
Just the whole thing. Like,
Mhm.
I would say, honestly, when I got out of the house, it took me about 2.5 months to 3 months just to feel normal again. Because
Really?
so in that house, like, you're used to having all these responsibilities, then you don't. So even though I didn't, like, go to the end, make the final two, I was still there, like, sequestered and stuff for almost like 100 or something days. So no contact with my parents, no contact with my family for over 100 days. No phone, no social media. I didn't have to pay a bill. Like, everyone else is taking care of everything for me. So when you get out of the house, you realize, oh my God, I have bills. What is going on in social media? Like, oh my God, I have haters. I have fans. This is crazy. I have to go back to work. Oh my God, like, what is a phone bill? I have to carry a purse. I lost my wallet like 6 times when I got out of the house when I first received it back and I was traveling everywhere. Like, my phone, I would just leave it down. I didn't care about it. And
Yeah.
so all that you don't realize how much it affects you till you get out of the house and you're like, wow, like, I was really, like, had nothing when I was there.
Right. And so that's what, like, too, people, so is it everyone sequestered after they're eliminated, or just like the jury house?
Just like the Jury House. Like, everyone else, gets to go home. Like Jessica, she got to go home and, like, watch the season. If you go
Right.
to the house, you don't get to watch, like, what's going on. And so after the finale, like, when we released and stuff, and they give you back that phone, you're like, what is this? Like, it got so silent, girl. It was so bizarre because, like, the whole season, like, we were loud. Like, we didn't listen very well. Like, we were talking all the time. And so when we were riding back to the hotel and stuff, it was just like you could hear a pin drop. And I was like, this is a first. Like,
Yeah.
everyone was just like, da-da-da-da-da-da. So it was kind of crazy.
Was reality TV something you saw yourself doing? Or was it just like Big Brother was like your thing?
I mean, I always wanted to do Big Brother
Hmm.
since I've been young. But did I think I would ever make it on there to reality TV? Absolutely not. Because, I mean, the chances are so, crazy and slim. Like, you realize only 15 to, like, 16, 17 house guests get chosen a year for this. You're like, okay, well, I'm just going to give it my best shot and be me and see what happens. And so when I got picked, I mean, it was just, like, I still can't believe it because, like, when I still have moments where I think back and I'm like, I did that. Like, it's just so cool to think back and, like, oh my God, that was such a fun competition. Or, like, oh my God, I remember that moment before I entered the house where I was just waiting in a room by myself thinking that I'm going to get eliminated first. And, like, you think the worst
Right.
before you enter that house. But it's just unreal. And I'm extremely blessed to be able to experience it. And so it's unreal.
So what would you tell people then that are going through that this year, or the future house guests? What would you like advice do for them?
I know I've got a lot of tweets and I got a lot of DMs lately because I know BB20 is going to be an audition. Yay! I'm super excited for the hopeful contestants. I would just say, honestly, if you're going to an audition in person, dress how you normally dress. Do your hair how you normally, do your hair. Like, I always just wear my hair in buns. And, like, when I got in the house, I was like, this is really hard to do this every day. And it was pretty funny. And so it's like, what's that hair? I'm like, girl, like, I'm just taking a break because that was a lot for like 3 months.
I like it though. I like it like down.
Thank you.
The buns are fun too.
Right? The buns are fun. I would call my buns hun. But, like, just be you. Like, if you are, if your job is a 9 to 5, you're a businessman, you come home, like, that's your life. Like, don't try to be like, oh, this is not me. This is a version of me. Like, they're not going to pick you because you have to be yourself throughout the show. And if you're sending in an online video, try to make it, yourself. If you have a best friend who thinks you're just as crazy, have a video, with you. Be like, this is crazy. You need to pick her. Like, I lived with her. I've been around her 15 years, and, like, she's nuts. So, like, make it personal. Like, if you have a child, put the child in the video. Hold it. Like, make that part of, who you are, so that way they can be like, oh, that's a good story. Or, oh wow, she's watched it for a while. Like, let's give her a shot. So that's always my advice. It's like, it's so cliche. It's like, just be yourself, but it's true. I mean,
Yeah.
big people are just looking for original personalities. They don't want another Frankie Grande. They don't want another, they want someone new.
And I feel like that's the best, like that's the advice that everyone's giving. I mean, it's kind of like some people, I think Josh had said he applied like 3 different times. So it's like,
I remember Mark said he applied a lot too as well. So, I mean, it's not just like, oh, I didn't make it the first time, I'm just never going to make it. I mean, because like I said, like, I know for my first time seeing the video, I'm like, oh, this is my first time. Like, my video sucked. Like, I just use my phone, and so, like, they're going to think it's a crappy video, but I sent it in and I got picked my first time. That's just like a luck thing. But just because you don't make it your first time, maybe that's not just what they're looking for that year. They might be thinking, oh, if she comes back next year, I'll definitely ready for her. You never know what they're thinking or what they're planning or what the season is. You don't know if they're bringing back, returnees or if they're doing half and half. Like, there's so much that goes into planning Big Brother. Like, if you don't know. So you just send a video and I say, best of luck to you. And that's all I can tell you is be yourself. That's all I can stress.
how do you feel about Beth's coming back in the house? Like, I mean, Paul really had a strong impact on the game in your house. How do you feel about that?
It's so crazy because I do feel like they do have an advantage in the fact that they played the game before, so they know what to expect. And also, like, when they get out of the house, they kind of know, like, that drama about it, like, watching the show and seeing how people talk. So they kind of know, like, okay, everyone's going to, like, say something about everyone. Like, this is Big Brother. So they do have an advantage in that. And also in the fact that, like, other people, like, for me and other people who haven't played, they're like, oh my God, this is, it's going to be helpful to our game. And so with him being the only vet, it was just like, oh, wow. I was kind of waiting, like, there's going to be a girl vet return any moment. Like, I was remember, like, waiting for the doorbell, and I was like, oh, this is it? Just one returnee? Like, so that part was a little bizarre because I thought there were going to be, like, at least 2, maybe. But, I do feel like it is an advantage to those who are returning to come back. Because, like I said, if you've played the game before, you know what you did wrong. Either you talked too much or you didn't line up, like you didn't play aggressive enough. So going back in the second time, I feel like you would have a better range of what you were going to do and more capable of knowing, like, okay, well, I suck at this competition, so I know if this competition comes up, I need to start my social game. So I think it's like that part is very helpful.
Yeah, it just seemed like he, I don't know, like if you're in the house, if you would want to match with the vet or not match with them or get them out, like, I guess it's being in the moment there.
Yeah, I mean, it is. You kind of have to fill out your other house guests. I mean, Paul is a very liked house guest. And so when other people are like, oh my God, I'm so excited to play the game with him, like, no one was really wanting to get Paul out until we found out Cody wanted him out, which was like a shock. But even like then, people were like, why are we going to put Paul up? You could kind of like see it like all over people's face. So it's kind of like, if you like, do you want to go against the grain? Like, do you want to be like, have you like, well, she wants this person out. She wants the big person Paul out. Like, she's trying to play this game hard. Like, you kind of have to think about it and kind of hopefully put your ducks in a row and they stay there.
So I know I just have a couple more minutes with you. So I guess how would you recommend people play the game to win the game?
Well, people are gonna be like, don't listen to her. She didn't even win a competition. She can't
even look how far you still made it, even without the competition win.
Crazy. Like, I say, like, I was 6th in jury. Like, literally, I think it was like 4 more. I would have been in final 2. Like, I was so close to the end, people. I was voted out on day 78. I remember what day. It was a double eviction. Those suck.
Oh gosh, yeah.
You can't prepare for them. I have to say, like, going in, like, you can honestly say, like, people are like, oh, you have to play this way, this way. Let me just give you this. There is no rule book to Big Brother. If you want to lie, cheat, steal, whatever you have to do to make it to the end and people don't know about it, do it. If that's what you're good at, like, for me, like, I cried when I had to vote out Ramsey. Like, like, I'm just, like, I love everyone in the house, so it was hard for me to, like, switch that and be like, you're gone. And so I know I didn't win any competitions. God, I came so close so many times. But just play your hardest and then have a feel for the house. Like, talk to everyone and then get a feel and know that someone's going to make themselves a target. That is what actually, like, Paul made a very good point at one point in the very beginning. He's like, people show their like the first like 3 weeks. So if you can make it past those first 3 weeks without being like drama, without starting fights, without saying I'm gonna get you out, I'm gonna get you out, you can make it pretty far along to kind of footing. But other than that, I mean, it's Big Brother, so I can't tell you exactly how to win the game because if I could tell you, I would have won and had money right now. So all I can say is kind of feel it out and best of luck to you.
And what was your favorite thing about just being through living the Big Brother life?
Oh my gosh, the competitions. Like never like I remember like that was my favorite part was like vetoes. If I got picked for the veto, I knew I was gonna get a cool costume. Like I'm excited. Like what am I gonna dress up as? What's the competition gonna be? Every moment you're in that house is exciting. Like when the doorbell rings, oh my god, that is like oh another adrenaline rush. Like I cannot explain. Like the adrenaline is like pumping through. Who's it gonna be? Like it's a celebrity. It's a Big Brother. Like you're just like and you haven't seen anybody in the house in forever. So you're like, people person, come see me. Like it's so cool. Like I just can't explain it. It's the opportunity of a lifetime. And I would say for the big 20 hopefuls, if you do make it, every day in the house is a gift. Treat us as so, and best of luck to you because it's an honor to be on that show.
Awesome. I love how authentic you were, and just thank you so much for such great advice. We really appreciate it, Raven.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Oh, and where can people keep up with you if they want to find you online?
Of course. You can keep up with me on my Twitter, Walton Raven BB19, and then I have my Instagram, which is Walton 2 underscores and then Raven. Keep me on there. I'm posting dance videos, what Matthew and I do, shenanigans. I'm always throwing something in his face as normal. Not cinnamon, but random things.
Okay, one last thing. What can we expect from you guys in the future? Do we have anything?
I think so. You'll expect some things from Raven in the future. I'm really excited. Like I said, every time we're around each other, like we just grow closer and closer. And like the last time I was up there for 2 weeks, and I just didn't want to leave.
Aw, we're so glad you found love on Big Brother and had fun with all the games and everything. So that's awesome. Okay, I'm going to sign us off now. Thank you so much, Raven.
Thank you for having me.